that have to happen.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I guess it is a Saturday, so we can't expect those things are on this day because when most people are free. Anyway, let's get on to it. So I want to quickly run through these patch notes and put this on YouTube. Then we can get some games done.
Uh,
Shouldn't be too long. Okay, so let's go through it. So this balanced mod has been created with the help of General's Gentleman, the Machine, and Mr. Smith and Mirage Flood, both. For people who don't know who they are, well, I don't know who Mr. Smith is, but I know Machine and Mirage Flower are like they know the inside of the game in and out. Machine has done tournaments, so has Mirage Flower. They know a lot of and they're very popular casters, so they know what they're talking about when they're going and doing these balance and changing the coding and all that kind of stuff and the points or whatever. So they know what they're doing basically. Anyway, so the main features that we're going to be seeing changes to are light tank vehicles, squad formations and clumping, and USF mortar penals and guards, and Wehrmacht infantry scaling. This is quite important. This is basically what's happening in this patch, I believe, when I've just given it a quick rundown myself. USF is getting a nerf, and Wehrmacht getting a bit of a buff. And also, so it's getting a bit of a nerf as well, actually. Right, so let's go into it. So, general squad clumping is going to be improved. That's going to be better for, units are not going to be jumping out of cover. They're not going to get squad wiped so much, that kind of thing. Reinforcement half-tracks, that's going to be easier to, load infantry and unload infantry. There's a shorter, reduced time there. And there is a handbrake ability now, which will be interesting to see how that's used. Because sometimes when you try and load up people into a half-track, the vehicle does a weird move order and it can get it killed or whatever, and it's annoying. Also, snipers seem to get a serious nerf, actually. So this is going to help OKW and USF quite a lot because obviously they don't get snipers, so they're going to be able to deal with enemy snipers a lot easier. Snipers are getting a serious nerf when it comes to this. So when firing a shot or using offensive ability when not camouflaged, your unit will be unable to return to camouflage for 10 seconds. So after it's fired, it's going to be out and in the open for 10 seconds, which means it has to keep backpedaling. So this is going to require a lot more micro on sniper players. And also they can't cloak until 3 seconds out of combat as well. So that's not a really big deal. If they're already, if they are out of camouflage anyway, they're probably not going to be in combat, so ignore that second bit. Stealth, same thing applies to camo other units, it looks like. Anti-tank gun stealth changes. Non-sniper infantry changes. Pretty much it's the same thing. So units like maybe it's just all stealth infantry. That's probably commandos, partisans. So they're going to get a bit of a nerf. So that's going to make my infiltration commando tactics with my mobile assault commander a bit harder to do. So mortars, here we go. Big nerf to mortars, I believe. Vet 3 no longer grants range increased auto attacks. So more power made them perform compared to other types. So yeah, basically just a general nerf. Puma nerf against infantry. Soviets, so penals lose their flamethrower and they get less accuracy as well, so they're getting a big nerf. Guards, they cost more. And their damage has been lowered as well, so they've got a nerf. However, munition cost reduced, so that's probably is that the grenade? I'm not sure. That's either the grenade or the button ability that's been reduced in cost. I'm not sure. Yeah, so just a general debuff to guards. Quad. What about the quad? Here we go. M5. M5 got cheaper, so that's a bit of a buff. M17. That's the quad upgrade. Can no longer suppress enemy squads on the move. So yeah, normally you could rush in the M6 17 because it's the quad, and it would immediately suppress dudes even if it's on the move. But it can only be it has to be stationary, so it can suppress units. So that's going to make dealing with the quad easier. But currently in the meta we don't see the quad used that much. Everyone goes for a T70, so I'm not sure if this is going to make one of people use it more often. T70 on the other hand, getting a serious nerf, costs more. worse against infantry because that this has been a long overdue, to be honest. The T-70, has been an absolute killing machine and crazy cheap for how amazing it is against killing infantry. It does have a health increase, but it's got increased scatter. You've got to remove the crew repair, so that's been removed, so it can't get itself out of getting fausted. So that makes people try and have the micro a lot better. It's still going to be fairly decent, but it's it's going to now its cost is going to reflect its ability. SU-76, the barrage, used to be freight, now it costs 50 munitions, so that got a nerf. Medkits got a buff, austere, so they will now heal fully. Pioneers got a buff, Pioneers, so that's going to be... Is that all? Yeah, that's from vanilla Pioneers. So Veteran C0 Pioneers are going to... So they're going to be a more... You might be able to get away with using them against one-on-one combats with engineers. Who's that following? Hey, H40L41 Storm, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Hey, CoH2, learn to play. How you doing, man? Assault Grenadiers, infantry scaling. So Assault Grenadiers, cheaper. Scale a bit better into the late game, but still probably not worth choosing having a commander, choosing them specifically for a build. Panzer Grenadiers are strong unit timing, getting there in virtually a timely manner. So strong. I think that's a nerf. Received accuracy bonus reduced from. I think that's a bar. I'm not sure actually. I need to check that. 222. Manpower cost increased, so that's by 40 manpower, extra 40 manpower. Spotting scope, so previously people would I would always put a spotting scope on my 222 and it would give you vision of the entire map when the scout card was Vet 3 or 2, I think. Now that has been seriously nerfed by 0.6, and so that's going to be a lot less, but it's still going to be pretty decent. It's not going to be OP now, but it's because basically you could it's like free map hacks with it on, but now it's got nerfed. I think the 222's autocannon and the coaxial machine gun. The coaxial machine gun no longer was really poor at tracking infantry. Now it's a lot better. So with the nerf to its autocannon, it should actually even out and be okay now against a lot better against infantry. It's got better range now as well, I think. Moving on to the Stuggy. Stuggy gets a serious nerf here. Same thing like the T-70. Just a general nerf. Won't be as good. Cost more as well. Target weak point nerfed on that as well. Puma. Nerfed. The Puma's target weak point's been nerfed. USF machine gun can no longer be equipped. Okay, so you can't do Captain Price strat anymore with the M19s. You can't go double M19s on REs or any other squad. They can only be equipped by one. So you have to go M19 and a bar, I think. Still quite strong, but you can't go OP squads with that now. So that makes dealing with USF a little bit easier. Okay, here's the big one, the 81mm mortar. The range has been reduced quite significantly. The setup has been setup duration decreased from 1 to 0.2. That's a buff, right? The setup duration decreased from 1 to 2, so it's quicker. Vet 1 increases smoke range. Fix the bug. Okay, furthermore, so rate of fire of actually bonus has been causing issues to overform. Furthermore, it has overshadowed the more expensive pack howitzer, lacking only range on its barrage until the pack car. So the range is going to help, but I'm not sure if that's going to be great all around. What do you guys think in chat about that? I'm not too... I was hoping for like a nerf to its damage or something, but it's all we get is a decrease in range, and the range is the decrease is 15, which is quite big, but still. Setup duration decreased from 1 to 0. That's definitely a buff, isn't it? Oak, what do you think? That sounds like a buff, right?
Yeah, definitely a buff.
Why would they buff that?
You can set it up quicker. You can fire quicker.
Exactly.
Allows you to smoke barrage quicker if you need that.
Wait, did we just get? Let me just check. I think general was there. I think let me just scroll up again. We had general for mortars. I think possibly here. General stealth changes mortars. Here we go. In a recent patch, all mortars received a 33% range bonus to their auto attacks of Vet 3, as previously it was only on the barrage abilities. This escalation of mortar power made them overperform compared to other types. Vet 3 no longer grants range increase to auto attacks. There we go. So that is going to be very good. So that's a general nerf to all mortars, but that will also, and therefore it will also nerf the USF mortar. So let's scroll back down to the USF mortar. So it has got a bit of a nerf, really, in overall terms. But
yeah, so its range is going to be drastically affected. So the setup duration is just to offset that. So you've got to get your mortar in closer, but you can set it up quicker to compensate for that. So it's still useful, but it's riskier to use just in general because it's got to be a lot closer now.
Oh, Mr. Smith, he's one of the guys who developed this patch, saying in chat right now, the patch notes are incomplete. USF Mortar Veterancy was nerfed hard to Austin Mortar levels. Well, that is a good thing to know. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Thank you for clarifying on that. That's a big one. The USF Mortar is currently probably one of the most broken things in the game right now. And hearing that from you has lifted my spirits a little bit, I believe. That's going to affect it actually by 50% or something, really. Okay, that's huge. Okay, so that's good. So
preview.
Basically, 81mm mortars getting wrecked in terms of that. Hello, who's that?
Nemesis, he's gone.
Hey man, I'm just going through the patch notes right now. I don't know if you've seen them yet.
Okay.
So let's go to the next one. So vehicle crews, critical repair allowed USF vehicles to escape too easily after getting caught by Panzerfaust. Yes, that's true. Delay from 0 to 4 seconds. Now that's huge. That's going to really nerf USF vehicles because they can't just jump out immediately repair. They have to wait 4 seconds, and then they can do that ability and then jump back in. So that's going to make it a lot easier for OKW and Austere units to finish off damaged allied vehicles. So that's big. M20, a lot cheaper by 100 manpower now. Though they don't start with a Zuka, so they have to jump out and upgrade it. So that's going to nerf it a bit. Veteran requirements lowered, so that it's going to get out faster. The accuracy is getting nerfed, so that's going to be a better. So therefore, so the M20 is probably going to come out now the same time, roughly the 222 possibly. And to compensate for its huge decrease in manpower, its accuracy is a lot worse. So there we go. But the accuracy does increase. Yeah, it actually does increase quite considerably when it does get veterancy. So really, I think that's just overall looking at that, it's probably a buff to the M20. Stuart, okay, let's have a look at Stuart. Manpower cost increased from 240 to 270. Main gun damage versus infantry set to -25. It was pretty decent against infantry, so now that's quite a decent nerf. So double nerf there. MG accuracy gets a nerf, I believe. Yeah, MG incremental nerf. Stun rounds only disables weapons and sight, does not affect movement. So I was suggesting to nerf the Stuart was to give it it has to be Vet 1 before it could use its stun abilities. Don't know, Mr. Smith, can you confirm on that? There's also a small rifleman Vet 3 received accuracy bonus. It went from -20 to -15. So that is a nerf to rifleman. So yeah, that's does the Panzer Tactician ability? I haven't seen that just yet. I'll scroll down for the Austere soon. Oh, have we gone through? I didn't see it yet, so I don't think so. Try reading the stats through this link. Okay, let's go through that as well. Okay, let me put this on the other page. 1 second. Right, what's this? When infantry scaling. All right, we'll read this in a minute. Well, let's finish off what we were this bit. Okay, Stuart light vehicles. So Stuart gets general nerf. Not sure about the stun rounds being available at Vet 1, at Vanilla. M15A half track, manpower costs reduced by 40. Main gun nerfed. Now applied to the main. So people might use it more because it's a bit cheaper, but it's now not that, going to be that great versus infantry. Still going to be decent unit versus vehicles should be. It's you definitely can go AA half track versus 222s and stuff. However, the 222s got increased armor, I believe. Let me just quickly double check. 222. I don't think so. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. It's still the same, just costs more. Wait, no, the autocannon from the 222 does do more penetration now, so it might still be a close fight between the AA half-track and the 222. So we'll have to see that what that turns out. M3 call-in gets a buff, significant buff to the M3 half-track call-in. M5 call-in, okay, goes up by 1 CP, but it costs 550 manpower less. Right, OKW, this is where I'm interested in quite a lot, because OKW is seriously the weakest faction right now. Okay, so medical supplies available at vanilla, so Vet 0, which is great. So therefore, you can possibly you can skip the battle group headquarters, then and go straight for the mechanized, because you can drop medkits straight away, which enables OKW infantry to heal up, back at base, and get on the field, and not have to worry about losing engagement straight away, because they start because after they retreat back and they haven't got healing, they're going to come onto the field like at maybe a 60% health, and they're going to lose that engagement straight away. And when they lose models, they're going to give veterancy to rifles or whatever, or conscripts or whoever's killing them. So this is a good buff to OKW, giving the med supplies, and it allows them to tech differently. Medic supplies cost is reduced as well, so that's again a big buff to that. 50% of the Vet 3 construction bonus moved to Vet 1. Okay, so they can build things a lot quicker. So once they get the veterancy 1, that's quite nice. So therefore they can build mines faster, build their Y, because currently OKW Y building is quite slow, so that's going to help. So why did the 222 get a penetration buff? The reason why it got a penetration buff is because other vehicles around that level, the state of the game, so like that early to mid game stage, also got a buff in terms of armor. Like the T70, I believe. So therefore, the 222 kind of needs that extra bit of pen, I believe. Okay, so onto the 251 half-track light vehicles. We found that the half-track was underperforming in its role. So this is the AA half-track the OKW get. It was always pretty crap, and no one ever would use it. So better against garrisons, that's definitely needed. Smoke no longer requires Vet 1. That's going to help it to get out of sticky situations straight from the get-go. Penetration increase as well, so that's going to help it deal against enemy vehicles. Minimum range. Yeah, that's a big one, because people could kite that and would get underneath pretty much on top of the half track, and the half track couldn't shoot at it. So this has been removed, so that allows the half track to kill even if it gets flanked. Give the handbrake to prevent accidental movement. That's quite nice as well. Now displays the max range of the weapon when selected. Now that's pretty good, because that's going to help determining where the best place to set it up. Panzer 2 manpower reduced. That's quite cheap now, actually. However, it does get a nerf in its damage. Anyway, distance gets nerfed. Accuracy nerfed. Vet 2 nerfed. Moving accuracy increased. Okay, that's a bit of a buff. Incremental accuracy nerfed. Garrisons increased. Okay, that was needed as well. So I guess that's okay. 222 was quite did do quite a lot of damage already, so that nerf, it's not a huge nerf to its damage, but it should be a lot better. Also now, Panzer 2 used to, when you put it on hold fire, it's a coaxial machine gun. I believe that's the right word for the gun that it has. Would fire even if you put it on hold fire. Now you can put it on camo, hold fire, and it won't reveal itself, which is huge, because that will enable OKW players to possibly set up nice, really sneaky flanks with the Panzer 2, so it can sneak around the back of someone's base, probably take out a med truck and get out of there before the opponent can realise it. So that's going to be very helpful for the Panzer 2. That isn't mentioned there, but it's mentioned down the list because I read a bit earlier on. Puma aim shot can no longer target infantry, so that's going to be great for giving snipers that chance to live, or like a one man trying to retreat. So Pumas used to be able to one-shot guys on retreat with this aim shot. That's no longer available, so that's good. Piats. Getting a bit of a nerf. They have crazy range, which is understandable. So that nerf is good. They cost more munitions. And their damage has been reduced as well, because when they do hit, they hit quite hard. And any people who know how to use a tap ground with Piats can definitely take out vehicles pretty damn quickly. So that's kind of needed. But anyway, Wasp cost is reduced to 60. So that's going to see a few more Wasps around. That's definitely going to be good. Flame burst duration, that's a buff, increased. Damage versus garrisons, nerfed. Aim time to increase 251. Is that the half track? Moving accuracy increased. Flame can now fire at obstacles. Dot radius from 5 to 3. That's a nerf. Fire aim time increased. Ready aim time. I think it's a buff. Yeah. So Wasp gets a buff pretty much. AEC. Okay, AEC was a very good vehicle. Armor increased. There you go. So that's why the 222 needed that bit of a buff, because it does do quite a lot of damage to the because the AC got an armor buff, so the pen is on the 222 is needed because it needs to be able to possibly deal with an AC. Angle scatter increase, so nerf. Okay, little buff, big nerf. AOC reduced from AoE reduced. The AoE is reduced. Is that a buff? I'm not sure. AoE reduced from 1 to 0.33.
Nerf.
It's a nerf. Okay. Machine gun.
It's not gonna hit infantry as much.
Okay. Oh yeah, if the AoE is reduced, then it's sorry, being stupid. Main gun accuracy reduced from that. Okay, that is a nerf. MG increment accuracy nerf. Medium crush replaced with light crush. Okay, so that's kind of a note. Can't crush stone walls and stuff now or whatever. The tread breaker. Okay, so the tread breaker was bugged on the AEC ever since it's come out. The added projectile, the scatter change, the cone of fire, that's all going to help it, so you can actually use this ability now. If anyone ever tried the tread breaker ability on the AEC, basically it would never work. This will now make it work. So this is going to be like, imagine, for instance, like the anti-tank half track from Panzer Elite. It'll be a little bit more like that, though it won't. I don't think it will permanently stop the enemy unit from moving. So when it says duration from 20 to 7, so that means 7 seconds, I believe, I could be wrong, that the enemy vehicle will be immobilized for. So that gives you 7 seconds to then bring up an anti-tank gun to take out the enemy vehicle that is immobilized. So that's going to be quite useful. So that's a buff to the thing. Whoa, a new subscriber. Hey, Imperator Theo. Thank you very much for the sub, dude. Appreciate that. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Okay, so bug fixes. Fixed an issue with certain squads breaking formations. That's going to be good. So sappers, commanders, and officers won't jump out of cover. Fixed an issue with players being able to double buy certain upgrades. I'm curious, because right now, for instance, sappers, you can upgrade, if you've got mobile assault, you can upgrade the sweeper and the flamethrower at the exact same time. If you upgrade one, you will not be able to upgrade the other. So you have to upgrade both of them at the exact same time to gain both of those upgrades, right? So this might stop that from happening. We'll see. I think that's what they fixed. Fixed an issue where several off-map abilities, most belonging to Soviets, could still be targeted in the base sector. That is possibly like railway. They're probably getting rid of railway, dropping that in the enemy base, because that's pretty killer if you time that correctly. Kind of a shame, because I like that, because that requires kind of skill to time that, as well as to try and get a unit in there to provide recon to drop that. Because, if you go for the Austrian commander, railway, you don't have recon, so you have to get a unit in there to give yourself LOS to drop that in the base. I'm not too sure of that, but we'll see. I think it was more related to double LMG 42. Is that really? Okay, so they're talking about double buying. Probably, I don't know if that will apply to the sapper upgrade. Anyway, fix the paratrooper. Okay, I didn't even realise that was an issue. I never use paratroopers anymore, really. They're not that amazing. You say making sure we're displaying incorrect health bar. Don't care about that. It's not that important. Bulldozer. Sometimes be temporarily unresponsive. Your command vehicle. Okay, these are all slight bugs that you wouldn't really. It would be very difficult to if you ever had these bugs in a game, you'd rarely ever see them. Fixed an issue with an early warning sign. Fixed an issue with commander ambush bonuses. AC would crush segments of the wall. Fixing issue with the increased match AoE. Okay, so another one was the big one that here with the bug would be the sniper. Fix the issue where snipers would avoid engaging infantry units when the sniper was cloaked without hold fire on. So this is when I had this a lot. When you, especially with, like, for instance, the British sniper, you tell your sniper to, you put him on hold fire, you take him off hold fire. That's when the bug would happen. You turn him to attack move, and he wouldn't start sniping. Now they fixed that, so that should now be fine. That was a bug that was introduced into the game a patch or two ago, but now it's been fixed. Thank God for that, because it was really a pain to micro snipers with that bug in play. Fix issue with tank hunters. Oh, this is another one. Fix an issue where Rakettenwerfers and Soviet AT guns would open fire and break stealth, thus ruin the ambush. This, yeah, they would randomly do this again. You know, the back guys would, you know, start using their pistols or something, or their rifles shooting at infantry. That's now fixed, so the ambushes will work. Raketten can now pick up medical supply drops, so that's going to help. So, like, you know, the medical supply drops like we talked about earlier got a buff because they are now vet 0 for Sturms, and they are 20 munitions cheaper, and now 20 munitions, so therefore now Rakettens are going to get that buff, so they can pick up those supplies. Quality of life changes, squad formations are great, prioritised vehicle now only affects the main gun of the affected tank, but not the MGs. That's great, because obviously MGs are not going to do any damage to vehicles, so that's really good. Base medics will no longer chase squads that are retreating or moving. Lutch is given prioritised vehicle ability. That's going to be very good with its hold fire ability. So you might want to get around there and prioritise a vehicle like the med truck instead of the infantry that's maybe back at the base, because you want to take that out. So that's going to be very useful. Order hill, infantry. That's pretty much all the big changes there. So I think that's it. Let's quickly move on to this. This is the other balanced preview. There are roughly 4 allied squads that appear to be consistently outscaling Wehrmacht infantry in ways that feel undesirable. This is...
Hey, wake up.
Oh. Sorry guys, going to host a one-day BFSN server to check out. Okay, get right. After concluding a full audit of the Wehrmacht infantry, we also have proposed some utility-oriented solutions to some of the underused, unwanted units. Finally, with better squad spacing and changes to the light tanks, use of more penals, yeah, they all get a bit of a nerf, so that's good. So basically, you know, allies, mostly Soviets and Americans getting a nerf, that being the penals, guards, and rifles, as well as the mortar, and also like light vehicles in general across the board are getting a nerf in terms of the anti-infantry department, and a bit of a buff to the penetration, so they won't be more, you know, currently they're way too good against killing infantry, so now they're going to be like mediocre, which should be the case, because, you know, too often you'd get RNG squad wipes, which really would change the course and flow of the game. So in all, nerf to allies, buff to Axis. That is my concluding thoughts on this patch, which is good, because currently allies, especially penals and guards and Americans right now, are pretty overpowered, so this should really even things out, I think. Yeah. Alright, sweet. Okay, let's go on to Sub Sunday. Apologies for everybody who's been waiting for this to start. I hope you...
Saturday.
Sub Saturday, I don't know why. Did I say Sunday? Why did I say that?
Yeah. That's alright. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday for you. Sorry. Let me restart my game just in case.
Hello everyone.
Hey man. Alright. Sniper change. Yeah, the sniper change is pretty huge, to be honest, with the 10 seconds out of camo. That's going to make counter sniping a lot easier. A heck of a lot easier. Maybe too easy, because squads take 10 seconds before they can re-camo.
I think you're definitely not going to use snipers the same way you did
Thank you.
before.